I don't know why I look like that. Okay. I don't know. I don't know I'm so sorry. I turned on the camera right when I was thinking provocative thoughts. What? Okay, I'm so sorry. I'm so sorry. I wanted Oh my god. Okay. I look troubled AF. Okay. I recorded. I feel like I'm still carrying the same energy. I tried to record this video before, but I feel like even now I look a little more messy. Okay, whatever. Should I even try to explain it in this video? Can I get this message across? Okay. There's no way I can talk about something serious right now. Okay, never mind. Never mind. We're gonna have to scrap the video idea. Anyways, what time is it? 2:11 a.m. I just have so much energy for no reason. I don't know what to do. Dramatic. All right, let me collect myself. When I started this whole process of me like getting into like my creative emotional side again, my journey started off with writing things in docs, like trying to become a author. And then it turned into me creating an Instagram page, like a inspirational, educational, personal Dear Diary page. And I was like, oh no, I'm more expressive than that. I want to talk more than this. And I thought like a better platform would be YouTube, which is what I'm doing right now. That whole process of finally like deciding to be with YouTube, and then even then like finally deciding to talk about my feelings, was from April, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, January, February, March, April, May, June, July, 7 months. It was 7-month process to figure out like where I wanted to go with my stuff, where I wanted to even put on a platform, or what I even wanted to say. Anyways, I was looking back on the things that I wrote before. I thought, what I think? What's happening? Okay, anyway, sorry. Sorry. I'm like looking at it. Sorry. Anyways, there are 2 neighboring spiders on my ceiling. Okay. And I was just like reading the stuff that I wrote before, and it's pretty good content. I didn't even know that I had it. It made me almost want to cry because I started writing all of these things when I was in a rut. I really was going through it, and I just needed to do something else. And I needed to believe in something else. So I just began writing. It's really weird to look back and compare myself to where I am now and where I was then, because back then I wrote a lot about how it was really rare for me to have a happy moment and for me to find peace. And whenever I did experience it, I had to write it down so I could remember it. I just think it's so bizarre now, because I do experience a lot of like happiness and stuff, but it made me kind of proud of myself and how I've gotten to this point and how I kept pushing regardless of like the rare happy moments that I would experience. It was like I kept pushing for those experiences. And anyways, self-love, a little self-love. I wanted to read this piece that I wrote when I was going through everything. All right, I'm starting. Just so you know, I look a little messy right now. Maybe I'm a hater. Maybe I'm hating myself a little too much. I think I'm hating myself a little too much. Okay. He listens to her, comprehends what she screams, but doesn't feel the pain that she feels. He does not understand that she is suffering. He begins to walk faster, talks over her, repeatedly yells that he understands the situation. He speaks. But I saw it. I know people were here and you cared about them deeply. I saw that they made you happy. I saw that they had also left and they are no longer around. I also saw that it has made you sad. But look, people come and go all the time. Trust the universe and what is happening. It is purposeful and here for you. Everything happens for a reason, right? And then I put in italicized, everything happens for a reason, right? She despises that line so much. It is so intensely aggravating. It doesn't help her feel any better. It is a line that simply means, I cannot understand your pain, but can you please look elsewhere? There is nothing left to say. This one line holds so much truth, yet never helps. This line stands here, proud and strong, with a gleaming smile that offers her nothing. Okay. She still aches. She does not understand. She simply feels. She remembers situations, people, laughs, feelings, smells. She holds onto it and does not understand why you have to rid yourself of something that made you so happy. She believes it's psychotic to release it. She can't see why it had to go, but it just did. She does not understand why things end, but it just does. But as soon as it ends, something else begins. As soon as she recognizes it, she speaks it out loud, it's gone. Just as fast as it appears, it's gone, and something else begins. Life is so fast. He wants to run, he wants to see, he wants to learn, he wants to observe. He wants to lead, but she just wishes to wait. She wishes the world and the people in it were a little more patient. She feels moments pass by, but cannot understand it. He doesn't help her. He doesn't even look at her. He drags her along and becomes aggravated. He blames her. Her presence slows him down, fills the room, filters his words, affects his actions. He pushes harder. He runs faster. He looks for more. All she wants to do is sit and watch. She's confused. Does she long to be him or belong to him? She's confused. Everything feels wrong, but she doesn't know why. She just follows what he says. And I put in quotes. Time will continue to move on with or without me. It is my choice when I want to meet him again. Will I watch him run from me or will I watch him run after me? I have to move my phone. But now they're just tired. Nothing is said. They stand apart. Yet they can't leave each other. So what now? Oh, my phone. I'm going to try to not let the perfectionist in me read it again because I'm pretty sure I don't know how I can read that. Anyways, when I wrote about this, I wrote about a couple. The guy is my mind. The girl is my heart and my emotions. So the guy is my logical, rational side. The girl is my more emotional, creative side. Throughout the whole piece, I kept saying the guy, like, he understands this. He comprehends this. He sees this. But he never talks about her and her emotions or says anything to help her feel better. He's just so logical about everything that he's just like, I understand why it happened. Okay, but let's move on. And the girl, she's just like, but wait, just wait. Like, what's happening? What's going on? I don't know what I'm feeling. That's what I felt with me trying to balance out my emotions and my mind. I'm predisposed to be very masculine, logical, rational, aggressive, assertive, bold, blunt. I never really nurtured my feminine, emotional, creative side until quarantine happened. I said last time that I was overly optimistic and I'm very positive and stuff. I just kept pushing forward. Anytime that I felt any pain, any suffering, I did, but I didn't because I kept ignoring everything. And I just kept wanting to push forward. And the lines that the guy says in the story is really the lines that I always tell myself. I remember before I wrote this, I was frustrated. I didn't know why that I was frustrated. And I just ended up writing this. And it made me understand everything a lot better after I did. It was easy for me to write the beginning of the story because I know what my logical, rational mind says. It took a long time for me to write the parts that the girl was saying because those were also lines that I never fully admitted to myself. When I started writing, it was really me pouring out my feelings and whatever I felt. Even though I made this story about a girl and a guy in a relationship, the normal masculine, feminine relationships that you see all throughout the world, the contemporary world. And guys are known for being the breadwinner. They're aggressive. They get things done. Or girls are more passive and they're more emotional. They're more nurturing, soft. I believe that narrative for a long time. Just the way that people saw women in this world, I didn't appreciate it. I didn't appreciate how people saw women as weaker because they're more emotional, because they're more nurturing. And I think I just took on that aspect because I just wanted to be so strong. I've had men in my life that were very just dominating. I never wanted to feel weak ever again, so I took on this masculine role. But when I wrote this piece, 20 years old, I hated who I was. I hated my logical, rational side. Everything that I was doing up to this point, it still never made me happy. Even when I just chose to focus on my logical, rational side, it still didn't make me happy. I was left feeling defeated, I couldn't figure it out. And life was just so hard, for lack of a better term. In the most simplistic way I can say it, life was so hard. I wish you guys could, maybe I'll attach the doc to the whatever. In my perspective, the way that I formatted everything seemed really beautiful. In the last line that I wrote that, but now, period. They're just tired, period. Nothing is said, period. They stand apart, period. Yet, period. They can't leave each other, period. So, what now? I neglected my emotional side so much and I just ran with this with my mind. And now I'm at the point where I hate my mind. I've completely neglected both. I hated who I was and I hated both. Why is he texting me? Sorry. Oh my god, I'm fucking distracted. When I was left at, so what now? In the relationship that you see, it's a girl and guy and they have like a soulmate connection. Even though they don't have the healthiest relationship, they can't leave each other. This is me in my body. I can't neglect my mind. I can't neglect my heart. It's what makes me me. Whether I neglect it or not, whether I ignore it, act like it's not real, it's all here. At that moment, I was admitting defeat. And I was admitting that the way that I did things before, it's not working now. I need to admit that I know nothing so I can accept everything. This was the point where I decided to take care of my emotional creative side, which allowed me to be here making these videos. I always say this, even though I'm just beginning everything, I have to begin somewhere. So this is that. This is not where the camera was last time, but I guess I'll just put it there. Yeah? Okay. I wanted to come back and finish my explanation for this video because where I left it off, I know that I was going through the feels. So I had to like stop the video for like I cried on camera. But I'm calm and collected. I can say it now. It's a lot. It's a lot of feelings to get through. Okay. So what I said last time was that I was really stuck into like thinking that the only mode of thinking is just being overly positive, overly optimistic, rely on your mind, rely on your logic, rely on the rationality behind things, and you will be safe and you will be okay. And that's exactly the problem that I had with it, of my way of thinking before that I didn't even know. It's not bad to rely on your mind, but to not be able to listen to your feelings or understand your feelings or even let them speak, it's really it's an unfulfilling way to live. I really didn't take care of my emotions. I never let my heart speak. Unfortunately, I had the impression that being in your feelings, being in your bag, letting yourself cry, letting yourself feel anything was weak, which is not true. It takes a lot of strength to let yourself be vulnerable, to let yourself be open, receptive to everybody, to give love to yourself, to give love to everybody, to be soft. That's a lot of power. When you have no barriers between you and the person that you're talking to, or you and yourself, and you just actually put yourself out there, that is a bigger risk than playing it the safe way and just relying on your mind and relying on these certain rules. Emotions are very difficult to deal with. They're hard. That's why it's easy for a lot of people to ignore it and to push it away. If you ignore everything, the only thing that you're left with is discontent. When I wrote this, that was exactly where I've lived my life so long dealing with just my mind and completely ignoring my feelings and pushing it away. I was left at the spot where my mind failed me. I couldn't rely on my mind to make me happy anymore. I was not emotionally intelligent to comprehend my feelings, to comprehend that the discomfort that I'm feeling is coming from inside of me. I would just chase everything else outside of me so I could feel better. Once you've been taken advantage of, people misuse your kindness and your love and the light that you're able to provide other people. It's really hard to put yourself back out there. It's really hard to think that the next time that you try to love somebody or the next time you trust somebody, that they won't hurt you, especially when you've been in repeated situations where people misused your trust. That was the way that I viewed my emotions my whole life up to this point when I wrote this, where emotions are weak. I didn't want to be in that spot again where I felt like such a little girl who wasn't in control of anything that was going on. I loved people the best way that I could. I could only offer them so much because I only offered myself so much, which goes back to the idea that if you don't love yourself first, then how can you love somebody else? And that's really true. When I was feeling upset and I didn't know where else to turn to and I didn't know where else to go, I started writing, and this is what came out. It's really sad when you don't let yourself feel what you need to feel, when you think that letting yourself feel is weak. For lack of a better term, it just sucks when you've been hurt that much where you close yourself off. Like closing off the truest parts of you, the most genuine parts of you, you close yourself off to that. It's so weird to see where I am now, to see how much I actually embrace who I am and my emotions and how it led me to being more confident, being more creative, which I never thought that I could be until I got single, until I started working working on myself. It was just the narrative I kept telling myself. I kept telling myself that, no, you're not creative. No, you're like all into science, all into math, which, by the way, now I suck at math. It's really rewarding when you let yourself feel what you need to feel and when you get to know yourself and you get to know your hobbies. I promise you, I didn't have any hobbies before this. I never knew that I could write. I never knew that I could draw. I never knew that I liked reading. I never knew that I could like make, edit videos. Allowing yourself to be creative and emotional is a different light, a different type of warmth. It's more giving. It's more freeing. When I think of the mind, it's like very rigid. But when I think of your heart, it's like free flowing water and it just whatever comes out, whatever comes out. And I'm still on this journey of trying to figure out what is my niche and what I can offer to the world and what makes my heart sing. How many things can I learn that makes me feel good inside? When you don't have to worry about anybody else, when you don't have to worry about yourself, holding yourself back, you don't have to worry about any restrictions, it's truly freeing to know yourself. The safer route is to rely on your logic. But I find that there is so much fun in taking the risk to deal with your emotions and then allowing that to pour into your creativity and then possibly having that be like your life path. After I wrote this and then after the time that I started getting to know myself, I feel like my outlook on life has completely changed. Or when I think about my future, I'm excited. I haven't felt this kind of inner freeing peace since I was a child. Some can see that it's childish, but I think that it's good to be childish. I think that it's great to dive into your feelings and have nothing hold you back and think that you're capable of anything and that you can take over the world and you can be anything that you want. That's where I am at in my life right now. And I've never been happier. And it only gets better from here. I love everybody. I really do. And I hope that you guys find peace. I hope that you guys choose happiness. I hope that this video helps somehow. Yeah, goodbye.